Americans, this could be what's coming very, very soon in the near future to America. Now, I've been talking about this since 2020. So I'm going to do the best I can to take you through a pathway of facts, figures, numbers, logic. Again, don't make any financial decisions based on what I'm saying. Use your own discernment and do your own research. So I'm going to show you what the UK is doing right now. I'm going to show you what happened in 2020 in America. Then I'm going to show you 3 videos that will start to tie everything together for us. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, which is linked in my bio here, every single day, videos to inform you. So on June 5th, 2023, basically the UK announced that they're testing UBI, Universal Basic Income. So universal basic income of nearly $2,000 a month to be trialed in England for the first time. So this is a document right here. It says the basic income conversations were launched in 2019. This is the key year I want you to focus on. So the conversation started in 2019. The World Economic Forum also had a pandemic preparedness response in 2019. And by March 2019, we were in a full-blown pandemic worldwide. The whole world got shut down. So a couple months later, something else happened in America that was announced, which is called FedNow Services. So on August 6, 2020, the FedNow Services, or Federal Reserve, announces FedNow Services 24/7, 365 interbank settlements. Now, why is this important? Well, they're talking about universal basic income, which is free money for citizens, in 2019. There's a pandemic preparedness in 2019, and the whole world was shut down in 2019. And by August, they were talking about FedNow Services. Now, I'm going to show you FedNow Services is live. I'm going to show you the account addenda at Wells Fargo. So why is this important? Because of the other videos I'm going to show you. Rosie Rio says you need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. So UK is launching UBI. Well, why would you want universal basic income? Well, they tested the stimulus checks in 2020 and people really liked it. Everybody loves working from home. And Jerome Powell said the middle class is getting wiped out, leverage towards technology. He's worried about the middle class moving down to the working poor. I'm paraphrasing what he said. So when eggs and gas are way, way too high, you can't get a mortgage anymore because of interest rates. Rental income has gone up 20 to 30%. And your companies have to lay you off because of interest rates and trying to cool inflation. Or when you can't feed your kids and you can't pay your bills, a cool $2,000 is going to be pretty remarkable. But to get that $2,000, you're going to need to have FedNow Services, which is a qualified direct deposit at Wells Fargo Bank. Wells Fargo Bank, account addendas, now a qualified direct deposit, April 24th, 2023, as inflation is through the roof, interest rates are skyrocketing, and banks' liquidity is in danger. So now let's listen to Larry Fink in 2017, sitting with the CEO of American Express, who is now retired. This is Larry Fink talking about basically that we need to force behaviors.
Questions, but you now make a point of that's an investment criteria for you.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. 54% of the incoming class are women. We added 4 more points in terms of diverse employment this year. And what we are doing internally is if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay,
we're doing the same.
And so it's just you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And that's
Okay, so a lot going on here, a lot to unpack. So we saw the Target stuff, the Kohl's stuff. Now we know Larry Fink and BlackRock is connected to almost every single company you interact with. But the point behind this, from 2019 to now, there's been a big shock to the system that is radically changing consumer behaviors. Pay attention. So let's listen to Rosie Rios, the 43rd Treasurer of the United States, again, talking about you need some sort of shock, and he's saying you need to force behaviors.
Numbers that come from banks who produce the orders that come to us. So remember, I started at $3 billion in 2009. What was it when I left? Any guesses? In 2016? Raise your hand if you have a guess. 16 billion. And it still continues to this day. So again, consumer behavior, very hard to change unless there's a shock to the system.
Okay, so they keep telling us 2017, Larry Fink says you have to force behaviors. He's talking about ESG, diversity and inclusion. She's talking about the financial system, and in 2012, she was asked to reduce coin and cash usage, but because of the Obama plan and the printing machine turned on, the increase in gross domestic product, it's hard to reduce coin and cash usage. So she said you need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. And Larry Fink says you have to force the actions of executives and CEOs to change their behaviors. So there's a social, geopolitical happening change, financial, and a civil war narrative. Please read the book, Changing World Order by Ray Dalio. Okay, the last one we're going to look at is Jerome Powell. He's the one that was stating, I'm paraphrasing, I'm worried about the middle class getting wiped out, leverage source technology, and coming into a new economy. That was in 2020, 2021. Now we're in the new economy. People are coming back to the workforce. Now AI has advanced extremely since 2020. People can't afford to live anymore. You need a shock to the system. We have social geopolitical classes clashing within America, which is civil war. We have horrible economic policies. Everybody's de-dollarizing from American dollar. And UK launched or is testing universal basic income. So he's talking to Jerome Powell right here about the digital dollar back in 2020, I believe.
Given the fact that the final decision hasn't been made, you are doing, if I understand you correctly, software development, even graphic design on what a digital dollar would look like and act like.
Yes, we're doing lots and lots of work. We're doing stuff jointly with with other central banks. We're doing things at the Boston Fed, and many of the regional Feds have little projects going on. Here at the board, we have a group of people who are doing software development and that kind of thing. You know, this is really just table stakes. This is understanding the technology and the possibilities so that you can really address the policy issues.
You think it's
like I've always said, don't trust a word I say. Don't trust a guy with a beard, long hair, and a tank top. Trust the people in the suits. Trust the people driving the fancy cars in the big houses. It's got us pretty far, right? I love you guys. From my heart to yours, don't trip, buy the dip. Diamond hand, hold the line. Exit when everybody's excited. Buy when everybody's fearful. And diversify outside of crypto as well. There is no get rich quick. It doesn't exist. There's getting wealthy for sure by having a game plan. That's not go to school, get a job, have a 401k. Go to school, get a job, have a business, buy just crypto. You got to be diversified. Crypto, insurance, business, precious metals, and real estate. Know the game so you can't be played. Warriors! Get your shit together. Love you guys. Again, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I do detailed videos just like this every single day to keep you informed. Love you guys. All in bio.